Good Monday morning to you all. Hopefully you guys are doing great. Hopefully you got your coffee and you're waking up. Well, we got some big news out there. The Houthis have attacked and sunk a merchant ship off the coast of Yemen. That waterway has gone hot again, and that feeds into the Suez Canal. And they attacked an Israeli-linked ship. Apparently they're going to attack any Israeli-linked ships that go past. So we're back to where we were. Strange insect behavior and many just missing. Honeybees dying en masse. Lots of reports coming from you guys about what's going on out there. Grocery store employee tells us what's going on with fruit. That's a question we've had. And now we know why there's a spice shortage. We got answers to that. We got reports on seafood, beef, and a violent riot attacking legal migrants and businesses that cater to them. The twist is this happened in Mexico, and they were attacking Americans there. Buckle up, friends, and my fellow Watchmen. We got a lot to cover. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you guys are sending in from all over. If you have something to share, make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment. We do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They help people with retirement accounts to get out of stocks and bonds and into something safer. If you have a retirement account, do you want to be in stocks or mutual funds, things that can go up and down? Or do you want to be in precious metals? If you want to find out more about how to do that in your retirement account, Jonathan and his team over at Genesis Gold would love to talk to you, answer your questions, and see if it's a good fit for you. There'll be a link at the end of the video. All right, President Trump signs disaster declaration for deadly Texas floods. The toll there continues to rise as not good news coming out of there, but the outpouring of support from others and the assistance from churches and ministries and disaster relief and ordinary citizens has been heartwarming, though. The Japanese Prime Minister says that they won't easily compromise to Trump on the tariffs, signaling that a Japanese agreement may not come before the deadline coming up here Wednesday. NORAD issues warnings as yet another pilot enters the restricted airspace over President Trump. He was at a golf club, and they had put up a temporary restricted airspace over the golf club, and an airplane decided to fly into that, not knowing or whatever, and they did get accosted by U.S. fighter jets. Brazil's Lula criticized Israeli policy in Gaza while hosting the Brics. Brics, of course, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, but it has expanded to basically the global south out there, or the axis of resistance, whatever you want to call it. Also, Brics issued some statements about concerns about the Trump tariffs. And there are reports out there that they found the filing, the FEC filing, Federal Elections Commission filing for the America Party. So it is a thing. So that may be coming to a district near you. The UK MTO, which stands for the United Kingdom Maritime something, they track basically all the incidents and attacks on ships going through the Strait of Hormuz and the Strait of and the Bab al-Mandab Strait, which is near Yemen. Well, they received a report of an incident 51 nautical miles southwest of Al Hodeida, Yemen. The bulk carrier Magic Seas has been engaged by multiple small vessels, which have opened fire with small arms and self-propelled grenades, rocket launchers. Armed security team have returned fire and situation is ongoing. This is the reports. Update 1. Company security officer has confirmed the vessel has been struck by unknown projectiles, resulting in a fire on board. Situation is ongoing. Update 2. UK MTO has had confirmation from the company security officer that the vessel is taking on water and the crew are preparing to abandon ship. There were follow-up ones here. The crew ended up abandoning ship and were rescued by another civilian ship. The fact that they had armed security personnel on board that were overwhelmed by the speedboats attacking them. The crew abandoned ship and were rescued by civilian ships, and the ship apparently sank. Now, this appears to be retaliation for the sinking of the Galaxy Leader, a ship that was hijacked by the Houthis back in 2023, and they've been kind of using as a command ship, or I don't know what they were doing with it, but the Israelis sank it on Sunday night. Sunday sometime, and then the Houthis said that they are going to shut the Bab al-Mandab Strait to Israeli-linked ships. And then they apparently decided that the Magic Seas was linked to Israelis. Reports indicate that the Magic Seas bulk carrier did make stops in the past at Ashdod in Israel. So it did come under attack by speedboats and was sunk. Appears all the crew have survived, but we'll have more updates on that going forward. Gasha Boy, I guess, says, I'm still working as a grocery store blocker at Food Lion in Highland Springs, Virginia. The tropical and pretty much all of the canned fruit has been coming in very few and far between. We told you that the canned fruit might be impacted by the tariffs and import supply chain stuff, and apparently that is happening. They continue. Also, many of the canned goods have been dented, some very badly. I have been removing all the ones that I can to stick back in to reclaim. Most of the stockers don't seem to care about doing that. I'm at least trying to watch out for our customers and community, especially the elders. Appreciate that. Interesting that these stores could be returning those dented cans to get credit back for the store, and then they could just order new ones. Or they can just let you buy them, or use the delivery purchasers to deliver them to you, and then you get stuck with them. Less work on their part. That kind of tells you what kind of retailers you're dealing with. Onas says, I went to Costco in Brighton, Michigan to buy cottage cheese. However, they were out. This is the second time recently when Costco was out of cottage cheese. It's a big store, and them to be out of something as basic as cottage cheese is surprising. This is from a Watchmen. I bought a loaf of bread Thursday out at Kroger's, and 3 days later it was moldy. I know a lot of people don't do this, but you can just take your bread and stick it in the freezer. I know most people don't like to do that or don't think to do that. Now, if you're like me, you just don't have room in your freezer. But that's what most food service companies do. They freeze their bread. So like if you go to a restaurant, and they like do French toast or whatever like that, that bread's been in the freezer. That's how they keep it fresh. It does keep it fresher. It's not as good as like fresh baked bread, but if you have bread that's going bad fast, you can toss it in the freezer, or you want to make it last longer. Kibazda says, Nevada, no bugs and no bees. The poison they're spraying on us is killing all the bugs. Well, Ray F says, in Vermont, we have two problems. Significantly less bugs, except for flies, and now our fireflies are biting people. That's Lampiuridia. Most people around here know what beetle they are and simply assist them back outside. You know, most lightning bugs are very, very gentle. But this year, we have to catch them with cups to remove them. Either we have a new species or something is wrong with the current ones. Anyone else seeing crazy behavior out there? Lore says, here in upstate South Carolina, 0 carpenter bees. Every year, this has been a problem. We've had a problem with carpenter bees eating my back deck roof. Now, 0. Very worrisome. Well, good news that you don't have that problem this year, but yeah, in line with what we're seeing across the United States. Bill says, we have all the flies and mosquitoes here in Central Texas. So maybe they're just all down there. And we have bees, but they have started killing people and animals. So again, weird behavior. A friend of mine was passed in Eastland, Texas, and over in Comanche. They killed 2 rodeo horses. Numerous attacks on people and livestock around here. So what do you know how like animals seem to know when an earthquake is coming or when a storm's coming? It's like they kind of know something. When you have mass amounts of insects across the United States acting very strange and weird, is it too much of a stretch to say, do they know something that we don't? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Sav says, no bees in southern Colorado in San Juan National Forest. No butterflies either. And so very few hummingbirds. Nikki Spin says, in Michigan, Spring Lake area, I have noticed that the flies are very aggressive at times, almost like attacking mode. So I'm getting a bunch of reports from you guys talking about the strange behaviors of the insects. Insects you've never seen before, coming out of the woodwork, or insects that wouldn't behave normally that way are suddenly doing that. What is up? Are some of them getting hungry? Are some and just not being able to find what they need food-wise, and that's why they're angry? Or are they just being messed up by, I don't know. Junior Mustang says, Columbia, South Carolina, the bee situation is very bad. My neighbor has 3 beehives, and in 2 months, all of the hives have died for no reason. He had these hives for over 6 years. At the same time, it rained here for 2 days, and the next morning, my garden had a milky white coat covering it, and then the whole garden died. The substance also covered my cars. I had to start the garden again, and it's growing very slowly. Not sure if I'll have a harvest this year. My garden is half an acre that I use for canning. No bees, so no pollination. Wow, they have us against the wall. Now, I don't know if you're very familiar. Some of you guys delve into deeper into the interwebs than other of you. But of course, there is the conversation out there of whether the stuff from above that's raining down is poisoning basically all of the crops and plants that are not genetically modified to be okay with the stuff. And so, they talk about how it might be that the crops are being genetically modified to be resistant to certain things. And then this is intentionally being released in order to kind of make it so that nobody can grow anything else. That's the theory out there. I don't know. There's a number of theories that kind of are close to that relate to stuff that's coming in from above. And there's enough people concerned about that they're passing bills like in Florida, making it illegal to do that. But that's been one of those conversations that hasn't gone away, and we've never really gotten a straight answer from the government. Linda says, Central New Jersey, my garage is always attacked by carpenter bees. I have not done any spraying or insecticides, but we have none this year. Second person talking about carpenter bees. Michelle says, I live on a horse farm in Northeast Ohio, and I find it extremely strange that we haven't had hardly any flies this summer. No bees either. And most areas are still getting the same kind of rainfall, same kind of temperatures. There's nothing really weird about the weather that would explain this. Laura Pendleton, South Carolina. Every year I have had a problem with carpenter bees eating my back porch. Actually, we already did that one. Sorry. Kel says, Green Bay, Wisconsin, talking to a neighbor this morning. We have not seen honeybees or mosquitoes. Our garden's tomato plants are wilting even when we water daily. Neighboring strawberries haven't produced much at all. This is Kathy up in northeast Wisconsin. Back in January, the spice company in Milwaukee closed down. This is why we're spices. My sister-in-law's son worked there for over 20 years. The spices are short because this company supplied most of the country. So they were supplying all the back labels. So, you know, these spice companies and especially the generic spice companies, they don't have their own spice company. What they do is they just buy it from a packing company like this one. They repackage it, slap their labels on there, and then, you know, sell it to Americans. Well, this spice company that was selling it to all these repackagers went out of business. You can find the warning letter at Warren, Wisconsin. It's sent to the government here to let the job market know that the permanent closing of companies and how many will be affected. We also lost many manufacturing jobs and health insurance companies and nursing homes closing. Auto parts and machine companies closed down. Wisconsin has a lot of revenue from closed companies. Has lost a lot of revenue from the closed companies. It's getting rough, especially for young people who want to buy homes and have a family. It's not a good economy, but we can still prepare and help others in these critical times. May God bless you for all you do. But if you just listen to people on TV, they'll tell you that the stock market's up. But if you walk around, if you talk to people, when you talk to people, things sound a lot different than when you watch the news. When you turn on the market reports and everything like that, they're like, oh, it's a gangbuster another year and earnings are up and blah, 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 blah. But if you listen between the lines where they're saying several thousand people laid off at this company, several thousand people laid off at that company, you still get this upbeat, hopeful, kind of like everything's moving forward. But you talk to individuals and it doesn't sound like that at all. We're all feeling the pain out there. The economy is not going the right direction. And, you know, are you doing better than last year? Are you making more money than last year? Are things more expensive than last year? I think we all kind of know the answer to those questions, and we talk about them here. But hopefully we don't lose sight of the big picture that there's a lot of pain out there. And even though you may like the person in the White House or like the party in Congress or whatever, it doesn't change the fact that there's real pain out there. Now, I know that it's normally customary that if your party is in power that you just kind of pretend like everything's fine. And I do like the people in power right now. Try not to be too political, but I do like Trump, and I like what he's doing for the most part. Do I have questions? Do I have concerns? Yes. We always do. But I also see that the economy that he got handed to him is just awful. And this was going on back last year around election time. This was going on before election time. The pain in middle America and regular ordinary people is big, and it's bad. This is from Mike. Southeast North Carolina near Myrtle Beach. Sam's, Costco, and grocery store spice prices have doubled since last year. Especially large containers at Sam's. They were $5 or so and now like $10 plus. Condiments and sauces, on-off sauces. Like, anyway, on-off shortages and have been occurring since COVID. Just never really fixed. Hard to get healthier options like low sodium, sugar-free, other things. Seafood, this area is known for it, but prices for shellfish are very high, especially crab meat. It's now $35 a pound. Crab and scallop dishes have been removed from restaurant menus or are market priced, which means a dinner will be over $40. Clams have also more than doubled in price over the past 2 years. Beef is very expensive. Cheaper cuts like chuck roast and cube steak and ground beef were $3.99 a pound on sale last summer. Now on sale for $5.99 to $6.99. Steaks were $9.99. Now they're $15 to $17. Thank goodness I listened to the homestead preparedness channels and stocked up. It has saved me hundreds of dollars, and I had access to these items despite sporadic shortages, particularly dairy. I have noticed that inflation hasn't stopped. I'm still seeing price increases. All right, friends. Hopefully you guys are getting more prepared and looking out for the people in your community. Keep your eyes open and keep your reports coming in. Appreciate them all. Make sure you use that word update. And thank you so much for your time. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold, or you want to have a conversation with them about what it might look like to make some changes to your IRA or 401k to get it more secure, just tap on the link, fill out your information, and they'll get in contact with you. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up there. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.